Yes, cats exist in Bluey, at least that's what many details in the show seem to suggest. But the real question is, where are they? Can you picture it? Because we sure can. It's almost a fact that cats exist in Bluey for one simple reason. They've been mentioned multiple times. Not only that, but several visual references to felines have also appeared throughout the episodes. The biggest proof of cats in this universe is definitely Muffin's favorite cartoon, Cat Squad. The show follows the adventures of a group of cats who, just like the dogs in Bluey, walk on two legs. This is a strong indication that cats not only exist, but are just as civilized as the dogs in Bluey. Another piece of evidence supporting this idea is that some toys in the show take the form of cats standing upright, just like the humans and dogs in this world. A great example is Agatha, Bluey's stuffed animal. The possibility is real and can't be ignored. Of course, if cats are really as intelligent as dogs in this world, it's kind of strange that we've never actually seen one. I mean, we assume Cat Squad is an animated show, but since Bluey itself is animated, maybe the cat series is actually live action, meaning its actors would be the only real cats the show has dared to reveal. Could that be the case? Either way, the fact remains, the Bluey cast has never personally encountered a cat, and there's no confirmed explanation for why. However, the fandom has come up with a very plausible excuse. Perhaps dogs and cats in this world live separately, each species having its own countries. It's possible that dogs mainly inhabit Western countries like Australia, the United States, Canada, England, Mexico, Brazil, etc., while cats live in entirely different regions. For instance, it would make perfect sense for Egypt and Japan to be cat-dominated, since in real life, felines are considered sacred in both of those cultures. If a cat ever appears in the next season of Bluey, they'll likely be from one of these countries or some other distant land. Imagine if Bluey and her friends got a new classmate who was a cat studying abroad in Australia. That would be the perfect way to introduce a character from a different culture, opening up the opportunity for an episode, or even multiple episodes, about respecting other nations' customs and religions. You can't tell me that theme doesn't fit perfectly with Bluey. Any fan of the show can probably picture an episode where the new cat students' different customs, and even their appearance, cause some confusion among their classmates, at least until they all learn from each other and work things out. Sounds like a great idea, right? But there's still so much more to discuss and theorize about cats in Bluey's universe. So get ready, this is Cinewave. Okay, now it's time to talk about a much darker theory. What if the reason civilized cats have never appeared outside of TV shows isn't just that they live in other countries? What if, in reality, all cats are far more powerful and important than dogs? Just take a look at the Cat Squad storyline and you'll notice something strange. The main characters are cats, and they're the heroes, but the villains? They're dogs. This could be a subtle hint that there's some level of tension between the two species in Bluey's world, especially since movies and TV shows often reflect the perspectives of their creators. This also suggests that Cat Squad, a globally popular series, was probably created by cats. But the real question is, if this show paints dogs as villains, why does Bandit, of all characters, let his daughters watch it? You'd think dogs wouldn't enjoy seeing themselves portrayed as the bad guys, but strangely, they don't seem to care. And this might mean that cats aren't just behind this one show or a few others. In reality, they could be controlling almost all media consumed across the planet. That would explain why their stories follow a feline-centered worldview, while dogs remain blissfully unaware. They just consume the content without thinking too deeply about it, all while their minds are subtly absorbing the hidden messages left by the felines, allowing the elite to manipulate their opinions through movies and TV shows without them even realizing it. And if you'd love to see some cats appear in the show, comment below with #cats. But many fans believe in a theory that goes in the complete opposite direction of the idea that cats are part of an elite. We're talking about the sad possibility that they have already gone extinct. In the short film Archaeology, Bandit gives a presentation as an archaeologist, talking about the oldest ancestor of dogs. That's pretty cool, but what really matters here is that in the illustration made to represent this cave dog, it's shown carrying the body of a small cat that appears to be dead, as if it were its food. Could this mean that cats were prey to dogs in the past? Adding that to the fact that we've never seen a real-life cat interact with any of the characters we've met throughout all 3 seasons of Bluey, yeah, the theory that dogs wiped out cats becomes much easier to believe. Plush toys, cartoons, vases, portraits, all of it, if this theory is true, could be based on a species that no longer exists. In real life, we have tons of cartoons, movies, and toys featuring dinosaurs, creatures that were wiped from existence long before humans ever set foot on Earth. So it's not that far-fetched to think that everything left of cats in Bluey's world exists only in the form of products and fictional stories. Maybe the species went extinct in prehistoric times, or maybe they lasted much longer, evolving into a civilization of their own, one that held deep resentment toward dogs. Depending on how things played out before their extinction, it's highly likely that the two civilizations went to war multiple times, but the final victory belonged to the dogs, since they're the ones who now dominate the world in Bluey's timeline. After all, even though it's never been fully explored, dogs in this universe seem to have a strong connection to war. Granddad Mort is a former soldier and a war hero, while Rusty's dad is in the military and is almost always away from home, meaning that a war happened in the not-so-distant past, and dog society remains prepared for future conflicts. The last war in this world may have been the one that wiped out the cats, but could the military still believe that some felines survived and are plotting their revenge against the dogs? As tempting and plausible as the theory that cats in this universe are also humanoid may be, we can't completely rule out the possibility that they're just as common as the real-life house cats we know. Because, while there are references to cats that walk on two legs, there are also several images and objects that resemble regular four-legged cats. For example, the cat-shaped jars in Doreen's garden that appear in the episode Grannymobile, another one of Bluey's plushies, and the cat portrait she draws when she pretends to be a doctor trying to remove a cat from Bandit's belly. Another sign that cats in the show are actually pets appears in the episode Shops, where Bluey pretends to own a store that sells cat supplies. When Honey starts pretending to be a kitten to join the game, she drops to all fours, and Mackenzie puts an imaginary collar on her. The weirdest part? Right after that, Honey speaks, and Bluey immediately corrects her, saying that kittens don't talk. So Honey starts making cat-like sounds and gestures instead. Want more proof? As if that weren't enough, a realistic cat portrait also appears in the veterinary clinic from the episode Copycat. That's right. First of all, this confirms that veterinarians exist in this universe, and they only take care of domestic animals, while regular doctors exclusively treat dogs. Inside the clinic, we even see some pets that don't have any humanoid traits, like the ability to speak or walk on two legs. The fact that a cat drawing is displayed above the entrance of a place like this is a strong indication that cats in this world are nothing more than pets. This would mean there's no specific reason why they haven't appeared in the show yet. If this is the case, cats are probably just as common as any other pet, but they simply haven't been introduced because the writers are waiting for the perfect opportunity. And that opportunity could come in Season 4, with the Healer family adopting a kitten. It's kind of weird to imagine a family of anthropomorphic dogs taking care of a cat, right? Especially since dogs and cats have a bit of a rivalry in real life. But get ready, because we might just see Bluey and her little sister playing with an adorable, personality-filled pet cat in future episodes. The chances of this happening are actually pretty high. Oh, and don't worry, this channel isn't secretly controlled by some evil mastermind cat, so go ahead and subscribe without fear to keep up with our daily videos about amazing animated shows. There's also a much more intriguing possibility. Maybe both humanoid cats and domesticated ones exist in Bluey's universe. After all, Socks looked a lot like a real puppy when she was little, both in appearance and behavior. This suggests that dogs, or at least some of them, are born with more animalistic traits and gradually become more human as they grow. But it doesn't stop there. In Bumpy and the Wise Old Wolfhound, Bluey makes a short film, and Socks plays the role of the main character's pet dog, which means that the concept of pet dogs also exists in this universe. So, it's not too far-fetched to think that there could be completely ordinary dogs as pets for Bluey's civilized canines. While at the same time, some puppies from those same civilized dogs might act more wild during their early months. And if that's the case for canines, the same is probably true for felines. That's a lot to think about, huh? To keep the fun going, we've got 2 more videos on your screen. Just pick the one that grabs your attention the most. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.